Hello everyone, welcome again to the Perbacco Wine Pills. This is the second episode. This time I'm going to show you how to taste the wine like a real pro. First of all, to taste the wine like a real pro, you need good tasting conditions, such as a room with a clear light, such as in this case. It's very silent and free of any extra smell, such as a basement or a kitchen might be not the perfect places because you have different smells and aromas in the air. Second, you need the right temperature of the wine. For the red wine, we go in between 16 and 19 Celsius, so in between 60 and 66 Fahrenheit. You need the right glass, and it has to be filled a maximum 1/3 of its capacity. This is very important because it marks the difference between a wine lover and an alcoholic. So it's very important. If you fill the glass to the top, you don't need a sommelier, but you need some psychological counseling. Remember that. Of course, you need good health conditions. I remember I did a national championship of sommeliering with a terrible cold, and I had to rely just on my sight and on my usual luck to describe the wines. It went well, but it could have gone much better. Okay, so how to taste the wine like a real pro. We are tasting one of my favorite picks of the last few wine club shipments, Scarpa, La Selva di Morano 2017. This is a Bracchetto, the only dry Bracchetto that I'm aware of. I haven't seen any dry, still Bracchetto. Usually, similar to Prosecco. It's a sparkling wine, very light. But this is a beautiful red. So, how to taste the wine like a real pro? You have 3 steps of evaluation. There are sight, smell, and taste. Step 1 is the sight. So you need to look at the glass, hold it still, look at the glass right in the middle, like a sniper. You have to look in the middle to see the color. So you have to judge the density of the color due to the pigments. For instance, Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon have more pigments than a Nebbiolo or a Pinot Noir. So Merlot is more saturated color-wise than a Nebbiolo or a Pinot Noir. Usually a young wine is much brighter than a vintage one due to the acidity. So the acidity gives the brightness to a wine. So now you need to swirl the wine to see the density of a wine. And you can see the legs. So what are the legs or tiers? The legs can show the alcohol content in a wine. So the more the legs, the closer the legs, the more the alcohol content. So this is a very old technique used by moonshiners to see the percentage of alcohol of what they are distilling. So you need to evaluate the sight. I'm gonna do more tutorials to show you how to do it, but this is the general tutorial where I show you what to do. Step 2, which is my favorite, the most important, the smell. The smell can tell a lot about a wine as well. You need to hold the glass still and smell for no more than 2 seconds. Otherwise, your synapses will get overwhelmed and accustomed to alcohol, and you won't feel pretty much anything. You only feel the alcohol. So 2 seconds. Some particles are, we are analyzing technical components. So some particles are heavier than others. So this is why you swirl the glass. You swirl the glass because of the heavier particles, they need some air to let it out, to let out, So remember that the glass is not a dynamo generator. You don't have to do like this all the time. Just a couple of swirls are more than enough to feel the intensity of a wine. I'm addicted to this wine. The flavor, the bouquet is just fantastic, very fresh. I love the aroma, the nose, the smell of this wine. So you can judge the primary flavors in a wine due to the components you find in the grapes. The secondary flavors that are the ones developed during the fermentation process, and the tertiary flavors, the ones developed in the aging. So from the barrel, from the aging process. Again, I'm gonna show you how to analyze these aspects in other tutorials. So remember to always describe the wines with the tools you have, with the memories and the flavors that you know. Don't let snobs, songs influence you. A technician has a technical language widely recognized to describe certain flavors from an objective point of view. But wine is personal and it should go with the flow. If you smell I don't know, peach, apricot, whatever you smell in a wine, just say it out loud. Don't be shy, and don't care about how the people are judging you, because we have our own personal memories and our own personal tools. So go with the flow. Step 3, taste, the most important aspect. So you have to do one small sip to accustom your mouth to the wine. Beautiful already. And the second step on the taste evaluation process is to have a bigger sip to evaluate better. You have to calculate the residual sugar of a wine. In this case is a dry wine. Residual sugar is the difference in between a dry wine and a sweet wine, basically. The warmth of a wine, so the alcohol content, the acidity, the minerality, the overall balance and overall judgment of a wine. In this case, the judgment is amazing. This is a beautiful experiment, a dry Bracchetto, mind-blowing, beautiful nose, beautiful bouquet, very floral, fruity, beautiful acidity. And this is a wine that you can drink at lower temperatures by the pool on a warm day, and you won't be disappointed, because even red wines can be enjoyed at lower temperatures, especially with such a hot weather outside. Okay, I hope you liked the tutorial. Again, wine is a pleasure. These techniques will help you taste and evaluate the wine better. But after all, in our everyday life, we have to deal with a bunch of crap, and wine should be an enjoyment and a pleasure. So just go with the flow. Feel free to describe a wine with the tools you have and the language you have. Don't care about other people judging you. I hope you enjoyed, and cheers.